How's it, guys? Welcome back to SoccerBeat. I'm here with Keegan Buchanan, former Kaizer Chiefs midfielder, after what was a very eye-opening performance there by Mamelodi Sundowns, obviously against Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs fans, you don't know how you're feeling after that one, but 4-0, calling Black Label knocked out of the cup. Keegs, for me, a very, very naive performance there. I think Nabi set Chiefs up in a very naive way there with just the two midfielders in Zwane and Blom against the three in the midfield against Sundowns. What did you make of that performance?
Firstly, Mike, thank you for having me. Getting to the game, I think in the league generally, if you want to win the game, you need to win your midfield battle. More so when you play Sundowns, who dominate the midfield, where everything happens centrally. I think it was a bit. It's a bit tough for the two boys in the midfield because, the numbers there were just too much. There was too much of an overload. And, if you put the quality of the players as well, I think they didn't stand a chance in winning that midfield battle. And I think that is why Sundowns just took full control from the beginning.
Yeah. When we were chatting throughout the game, the one word you said to me was immature performance. I just want to expand on that.
Yeah, I think you have to look at Chiefs and obviously the rebuilding phase, and people say, they've been rebuilding, but it's kind of like a Manchester United scenario where you need to have some consistency and continuity if you're trying to build, and these 4-0s are going to happen. I'm an Arsenal supporter, and Arteta was on his way out, but when you show up at the faith, etc., and I think maybe the coach knows what he wants to do. It's not yet where it is. But the maturity in decision making on the ball, in the midfield more especially, I think it was chalk and cheese in terms of Sundowns showed way more experience, obviously. I wouldn't want to put down the Chiefs boys and say there wasn't quality because, the Chiefs boys have quality. But that maturity and experience on the highest level, I think it counts. And you saw that with the small errors that led to the goals there. So.
And it starts with that first one, obviously beginning of the game, Zwane, that little flick gives away the ball, and against Sundowns, man, they are brutal. They will absolutely kill you when you make those type of mistakes in the midfield. Yeah, so again, it comes back to where you're saying just immature from Zwane. We know he has ability, we know he has skill, but you don't do that in your own half on the edge of your box. You try to keep things simple because you give Sundowns a sniff and you're a goal behind.
Yeah, I think that is more especially with the front three and the way Coach Manqoba has brought that sense of urgency when they win the ball now to go forward. Yeah, there's no dilly-dallying in the midfield now. I think from my observation of the game and obviously looking at it, I think they needed more of when they did retain possession, they needed that one secure pass and then a vertical pass. And in that instance, I think maybe a lack of concentration from Zwane. But like you said, he's a quality player. And he will only learn and grow from this experience. But yeah, a different pass there and a different decision, and Chiefs are still in the game, and maybe it's a totally different thing. Because I think if I'm watching Chiefs for the beginning of the season and I'm thinking they've got the quality, and the games that they've seen through and finish strong is when they hold on, and there's no real big, goal difference where they're still in the game. And I think after the second goal, you messaged me, I think, you could see okay, this game is going to get a bit ugly if it continues. And unfortunately for Chiefs, that's what happened. So
yeah, and I said that to you within the first 20 minutes. I said Kaizer Chiefs are going to get a red card in this game. And I called it early on, and I could see, obviously, the crowd was obviously very, very on edge as well. You could feel it. Obviously, a couple pitch invasions as well. You could feel the bench. There was a lot of chaos around Chiefs, and I could tell early on that there was going to be a red card, whether it was going to be Sereno, Miguel. They were obviously... When you can't handle the pressure of that situation and you can see that everyone's on edge, I predicted a red card. And I said that to you. Sundowns just overwhelmingly overpowered this Kaizer Chiefs team. And it just starts to beg a few questions. If we look at how Nabi started, obviously there was a lot being said. They was thinking they'd turned the corner here, but when you look at the results, they've gotten wins against Marumo Gallants, against Amazulu, and a Supersport team that a week later then ended up beating them as well. So, have they really turned the corner here under Nabi?
I think the coach obviously is very experienced, and he said if people think that this is a team that can challenge for the league, then they've got another thing, because I think he knows where the team's at. and like I said, it's got nothing to do with just the players at the moment, because I mean it's a good crop of players, and like I said, I believe that continuity and
Is it though,
the
Keeks? Is
specific.
it a good crop? Is it a good crop of players though?
I think it's a good crop of players, but I do feel that they need more experience. And the way the league is going, but you see most of the clubs are not playing with that much experienced players, but the clubs who are winning and challenging, they've got core of experienced players that are seeing you through games. And I think, like you said, in those beginning phases of the game and those difficult parts with the crowd and there's an invasion, that's where you need your experienced guys. You need three, four guys. I think the Inacio guy. He's not experienced in our league, but you can see from a maturity perspective, something he's got a lot of experience. But you need three, four, five of those on the field. And I think if you look at the changes, there's not that much for them to bring on where they can say, okay, we need to soak up. We got 2 goals. Let's just get the younger boys who have a lot of ability. I mean, we've seen from the bigger teams, the youngsters coming through now, the 2, 3, 4, 5, they fly. But I do think that you can't have 7, 8, 9 of them in your starting 11. No, I think that's where you're going to
Yeah.
see the difference between the team that's got more experience. I think finding that perfect blend of using these super talented boys, like your Zwanes and all these players who are unbelievably talented. I still think you like with us growing up in the league, you had an experienced guy there with you. That guidance is always just better, as much as you want these boys to be ready, they are ready to be in the league, but just maybe not to play 30, 40 games for you and win you the league title. So to answer your question, I do think they've got good quality. I do think they need more quality. I think they need more experience to just bring out more of the youngsters, to not put that much pressure. Because I was there, and like there's so much pressure on the young boys. Like it's not that easy for them. I mean, you've seen the body language of Shabalala at the end and Valakazi. These boys are chasing, man. They're still chasing the ball. It's 4-0. So the mentality is there. The boys want to do the right things. But yeah, they need
Yeah.
more. They need more.
Yeah, I will ask you another question just about a couple other guys, but let's quickly jump to a quick ad break and from the sponsor, and we'll be back in a couple.
You see, it was this game that turned boys into giants. Even today's aces inherited the name from those who came before. Usabutha lo mlilo, buzalwa abaziyo, bazokutshela, lisegazini, forever.
Betway is giving customers a chance to win big with their 4 to score free weekly prediction. Simply predict the first teams to score in 4 Betway Premiership matches, and you could win 50,000 Rand. Scan the QR code on screen now to enter. Get way more with Betway. Standard T's and C's apply.
And we are back after the break. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Make sure you like and subscribe and you hit the bell notification so that you are notified every single time SoccerBeat drops a video. Keegs, you did mention the squad quality here. Somebody that they could have actually got in the transfer window was Iki Reina, somebody that they put in an offer, but obviously couldn't compete with Mamelodi Sundowns. This is what happens when you don't get the best players, and it looks like Chiefs is obviously way off the pace, and we know that it is going to be a process here. But I mean, I know you were with me last year when we were preparing for Sundowns at Cape Town Spurs, and obviously we didn't get it right either, but we spent the whole week drilling down on our defensive shape. I mean, I think we literally didn't even touch the ball, where we just worked on shape the whole week because we knew how potent the Sundowns team was. And that's where I just come back to naivety, where I think, can you afford to play with Sereno, Shabalala, Shivavaro? Like, you're playing with basically a front four that doesn't come back to defend, and you leave those two boys in front of the back four. It was going to be an uphill battle from the get go. So, is Nabi the man for the job? Is he the guy? From what you've seen so far, has he got them doing the right things? Are they doing the right defensive structures? That kind of thing. Are you seeing any signs of positivity to take from these performances?
Yeah, I look. I am obviously a Chief supporter from. Never mind that I played for them for that little bit, but I mean, I'll answer you in a not a biased way. I do think they've got a good coach. I see his ways and how he talks, and you can see he looks very demanding. You could see when he's upset, like, yeah, he wants more, he wants more, he wants more. And I've liked that he's been honest. But I think, yeah, like you said, maybe Reyners, maybe they get another striker. I feel like they just need to consolidate that midfield, you know.
Yeah.
That's for me where you win. It's where you win the games, and I think.
Yeah, but that's my thing. Is like
to
if you
get
don't have
a-
enough quality kicks, like you've got to put more numbers in there. You can't leave Zwane and Blom. Like I like Blom, I think he's quality, but Zwane and Blom is not enough against that Sundowns midfield.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
they
mean,
were
yeah.
a double six was a good idea, but when you have someone on the right and the left, you have players who obviously maybe the coach is thinking of when they, because Sundowns are so in the middle and the balls just through the center, when they win, they probably thought like, okay, our space is on the sides. But I mean, we've seen all the teams make that mistake, thinking that, okay, when we win the ball, we'll have a cheating play or two. But if you don't have players next to your double six, like, if we in the midfield and there's no one on my right and my left closing the pass through the vertical pass, Sundowns is going to hammer you. Because for me, never mind just Blom and Zwane that was a bit exposed because they were alone. Rushan and Inacio as well, Ikaram and these Riberios, they were on the shoulder. There were many occasions if the ball went just vertically straight into them, they could have had another 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So I think maybe closing the middle and consolidating that maybe that second line in front of the defense. Yeah, like you said, I think maybe it would have been easier if there was 2 players maybe on his right and his left next to the 2 double sixes.
Yeah.
Would have been
And this is Sundowns
more
is not
secure.
like the Rulani Sundowns where they will have a patient build up and they'll sort of give you time to get back into your shape or your structure. This Sundowns under Manqoba is direct, straight into Ribeiro, straight in behind. Like a lot of the goals, like Modal just breaking through, they direct. It's not like this patient build up under Rulani. It's very, very dangerous if you're not going to be super, super compact.
Yeah, I think if I watched the game and I also looked at Coach Manqoba at the end and I listened to his interview, but you can also see from his body language that he does not want to just dictate the play once they've got 3, 4, 5 goals. He wants more. And you see when they win the ball, obviously their verticality is the way they find players is good, and they've got players on the half turn who will damage you. So like you're saying, if you have a double six who doesn't have protection on his right and his left, I mean, it just takes a little one pass out and one pass in your box, and that's what we saw. And I think it could have been a lot worse. There were opportunities for them to actually make it
Ribeiro
very
with
embarrassing.
a couple, that one, there were 2 shots that just like skimmed the top of the net. He hit the crossbar as well. Man, he's special.
I think he's definitely on his way to winning the Player of the Season. But if he continues that way, I mean, we spoke about him last season.
He's a nightmare.
His maturity, he's super smart. He's top quality player. And sometimes just have an abundance of quality. I mean, if you look at those who are not even there, it's just scary when you think, okay, is Pirates going to take them? You hope someone can just challenge them, but they've got so much quality, and it's actually crazy.
Yeah. And then another one that at Kaizer Chiefs that I think will be a bit of a point to highlight now, and I think Chiefs fans won't be too happy, is the goalkeeper. I saw his distribution tonight was very, very poor. When you come from, obviously, Kaizer Chiefs, from the home of distribution when it comes to goalkeepers, you played with one of the best keys in Kune, and now you got a goalkeeper. I think he kicked the ball directly out of play about 10 times tonight. Like, it's crazy. I don't know if it's the pressure, the fans obviously on his case, but you at a big club like this, you got to be able to deal with that.
I've not seen a lot of him since, I think he only joined TS Galaxy last season, or maybe the season before, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was last season, but it definitely is the pressure, man. And sometimes at these big teams, there's no patience. Sometimes they can't wait for you to adapt. But I think they've got confidence in him if you're looking at the goalkeepers and starting him. But I mean, they've got Bruce and Brandon, so they've got some goalies, and like we've seen before, the pressure of being the Chiefs goalkeeper, it's difficult because, Kune was there for so long and so consistent, and it's a difficult situation where, if you're not consistent, they chop and change you, and then it's the same thing I said earlier on, the continuity and sticking to someone, it's not that easy, to stick with someone if there's a mistake or a blunder, and then your confidence just drops. And I think with him, you saw it just got a bit worse towards the end because obviously they lost a man, And he was trying to pin it into the wing backs, and he just kept kicking it out. And I mean, at Chiefs, they're not used to that. They're used to grass cutters from Itu, and you know.
Yeah.
So,
Now, where to for the Kaizer Chiefs fans? I mean, their expectation. I think that's obviously you spoke about that with Man United. That comparison is like the problem at Kaizer Chiefs is that the expectation is always high. Doesn't matter what type of players they have, who the coach is, whatever the expectation is that they must win things. And the reality is there's going to be a massive transition period here where they are not going to be as competitive as Chiefs fans want them to be. And you've been there, worn that jersey, know how heavy it is to carry that jersey and play in front of a packed FNB stadium. So where to from here for Chiefs and the supporters?
I think Mike, the support Chiefs,
and they don't want to hear patience. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear be patient. We know.
They want instant results because I mean they love their team with everything they have. But the reality is, if you look at it, it's not just in the PSL, anywhere in the world, man. Like you're gonna have to give the coach time. You're gonna have to give him time because I mean we've been in the game for long. You know, a coach is gonna come in now and see what he has and see who can do what, and you will have faith in certain players, and you will have this one's maybe not for me. And going into the next market, maybe January or next season, you will now look at, he wants to strengthen here and here. So that takes time. Everything takes time, you know. And yeah, if you're trying to compete with Pirates, who's now shown continuity, they've been winning cups. They've had the same coach, you know, same group of players. They're adding here and there. Sundowns has been consistently with the same coaching staff that's been going back and forth. They've had the same people, also adding here and there, same players, same crop of players. Chiefs has to be patient. They have to do the same thing. Yeah, they have to add where they need to add. Give the coach time. Let the coach do his thing. I mean, you were a Liverpool supporter, Jurgen Klopp. It didn't happen overnight. It's just
I waited 30 years for Liverpool to win the league.
Yeah, so they're not going to have patience, and it's difficult to tell them because you know the people love the team. They go to work. They're going to work on Monday. They're going to hide. It's going to be fights at work because the Sundowns people are going to hammer them. You know, the supporters are going to go back and forth, and the Pirates people will say this and. They love the team, so they don't want to hear, let's wait a season. Let's wait a season and a half or two. They want instant results, and
for sure.
I think that's just not how it works. They just need to give the coach. I like the coach. I think he sounds like a good guy, and he's a winner. They just need to give him time, let him do his thing. Don't throw missiles and stuff on the field, and you know, just give him time. And then you can say, okay, he's failed. We've given him 2 years, 3 years. But I think from what we've seen, the little bit of glimpses, I think if he's given time, I think he can make them a competitive team again. I think he can.
Okay. I'll wait to see when he beats a top 8 team. Then I'll start to maybe give him a little bit more credit. Let's wait and see. But Keeks, thank you so much for joining me. And we'll catch you up in the next one.
Pleasure,
thank you very much, guys, for joining us on SoccerBeat. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
SoccerBeat, ouça!